Hi everyone, this is the next installment on my photographing series, and today we are talking about mannequins. They come in different forms and different types. I have a few different ones that we're going to talk about, but first, if this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Karen with the Thrifty Flamingo. If you're returning, welcome back. I'd love to have you. You guys are going to want to stick around till after the mannequins because I'm going to give you some tips on where to get some of these things. Okay, so I have 3 different types of mannequins. I'm going to go over each one individually with you and kind of set it up with some clothes, so you can kind of figure out the pros and cons to each different type. And so you can make a better decision should you decide to go and purchase one yourself. So first thing we're going to do is the hanging one. Okay, so the hanging mannequin. These are fairly cheap, maybe $20, $30 before shipping. I do have 2 of them. I have a black one and I have a white one. The 2 different colors gives me options for contrast depending on what clothing I'm putting onto it. These are very simple to use. They either come in a full torso with a little bit of leg or the half torso. So I mostly use these for dresses. I rarely put anything else on them except for dresses. Maybe like a long tunic shirt I might use it for, but it doesn't have legs, so you're not putting pants of any kind on it. So you just need to have some kind of hook. I have one of the 3M hooks that I love so much. Stuck right up there. So these are really good for the front. The problem with the hanging mannequin is it's hollow in the back. So when you're trying to get a backside shot of the item, it's hollow. So you would just hang it. Okay, so that was very easy, very simple. That's one of the pros to having a hanging mannequin. You can pump them out really quick. They're very, very quick to put on, put off, be done. Next product. So my previous video about photos, we talked about using a hanger. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it above. And I also talked about having some kind of clip. This would be very useful even with the hanging mannequin. You see how the dress is just a little bit too big for the hanging mannequin. So you would kind of in the middle, cinch it back. Doesn't that look so much better? It's got curves now. It has contrast with the white wall behind it. I usually go with the black busted one because I use the white wall. So having white on white really washes it out. Unless it's like a really dark color, then I'll use the white one. Now, remember I said about the negative thing about the hanging mannequin. So this picture would look great. It gives it the form. People can, the reason why people like some kind of mannequin as opposed to a flat lay is it gives them an idea about how the clothing is going to look on their own individual body. How does that dress fall over, you know, the top, the curves, the hips? How does it work? You know, and it gives them an idea about it. Why do you think stores in the mall use mannequins and they don't just like put clothing all over and like lay it flat and there you go, put it up on hangers? It would be a lot cheaper if stores would just put everything up on hangers and have that as their display, but it doesn't leave much to the imagination. So in order to do a back picture, you would unclip it. You could clip the front, so you know, pull it taut again. Not so nice. Granted, you're just trying to get them to open up your listing to begin with, so you're trying to win the click. You want that first picture to be fabulous. So I have used this before. It gives people, they need to see the back of the item, you know, and I do mix and mingle. I'll have a mannequin and I'll have a flat lay, or I'll have a mannequin and I'll use a hanger. So these are very simple. Now, when you're using a darker clothing, this black dress on this, you can already tell that just won't work out. So this is where I would use the white one, the black dress. Much better. Now you can see what I mean by contrast. If I had this one up here, you wouldn't be able to tell the detail of the dress whatsoever. So, lovely. Very simple. So now we're going to move on to the dress form. Okay, so a dress form is there's a few different types of dress forms. The two most common types of dress forms are the dress forms for a seamstress and a dress form that is for a mannequin. This is a seamstress's dress form. I used to create clothing, so the difference is this has a slip cover on it. Underneath it, oh, I have it pinned. Underneath it, there is a very like smushy fabric where, you know, when seamstresses are creating clothing, they could take the shirt, put the shirt on it, and take their pins and actually stick it into the dress form to hold it up and create the clothing. So these are actually made to create clothing and not display clothing. Now, the reason why I put a slip cover on it is because up here is actually a pin cushion where, you know, you would be pinning things and pinning the fabrics together and then taking the pins from the pin cushion and hopefully returning them to the pin cushion. Now, I'm sure you've seen other dress forms similar, but they look a little better where they may have some kind of like French design on it. They might have like a wooden pole with a wooden pole on the bottom. Those are for display. The same concept dress forms are just the torso. There's no arms, there's no legs, there's no head. It's just the middle section. So I put the slipcover on it to make it look a little bit, you know, nicer than the purple underneath. The ones that are used for display with the wooden base, those are also not adjustable. This I can like raise up and lower should I want to, because for a seamstress, they can set this to the height of the person they're creating clothing for. So if the person is, you know, 5'2", I would lower it and be able to get it if I'm making an actual dress. So let's talk about the dress form. These are very easy to use. This is just a sweater. I got a sweater. Isn't this an odd sweater? But it's kind of cool. It's like, what's it, like a bolero almost? Almost. It's by Miss Me. Remember jeans? Miss Me. So the dress form with the fabric on it, it makes friction so the clothing won't go sliding off. It's very helpful. Even the mannequin dress forms that aren't for a seamstress, they have some kind of friction fabric to it where it's not so slippery and the item won't be like falling off of it. Very helpful. So if you get a dress form that has some kind of pattern to it, like a little French motif or something like that, just be aware that you don't want that being the center of attention either. I get that they look very pretty, you know, and it goes for a certain like aesthetic that some people go for. But if I put this sweater on something that had like a crazy design on the mannequin, it would completely take away from the sweater. So that's also why I went with white underneath this purple. So you can also, if you're just doing something like this, add a dress underneath it if you wanted to. Now, with the dress form, the seamstress's dress form, I don't need to pick it up and turn it. I could take my pictures, boom, boom, boom. Ready? Boom, 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 and then side view. I use this a lot. This one I use. As a seamstress's dress form, I can also adjust her size and her waist slightly within a couple of inches. I have her at a 32. I have it written down. I always write it down because numbers don't stick in my head. They will tell you exactly the dimensions of the dress form. You should know this so you know what clothes can fit on her. She can fit anything from 8 upwards. Now, there's only so much cinching you really want to be doing. So one of the issues with having such a small dress form is if you regularly sell larger clothing. The dress forms do come in different sizes, so choose wisely. No bueno. So even if I take my little clip and say, okay, that's supposed to be the waist, and I take the waist back, I might need 2 clips for this. So that looks so much better. I'm sure everybody agrees with me. Now, this is originally a 2X, so somebody that is an extra large, a plus size person, and they're looking through listings, they're gonna see this and be like, that's never gonna fit on my body. Even if you tell them that, hey, like I've pinched it, like look at all that fabric. So when you're dealing with larger clothing, beware what size dress form or mannequin you get. If that's your normal thing, if you deal with like large, extra large, plus size, don't get a small mannequin. So let's talk about a dress that is a little bit bigger, but not so much bigger, like this one. This is a size 12. You guys might remember it from my hanging, my hanger video. Now, you can tell it looks a little frumpy, and I bet you that Betsy Johnson didn't design this dress to be frumpy. So we're going to pin it back. Still having a little bit of an issue, right? So, tip to the mannequin with the small chest. Get your mannequin a bra. Sourced it Goodwill. I think it was like $1 or $2. And I keep this for when I have a dress or an item that just, my mannequin won't fill out. One with padding. So you could give her more, What? Middle school? No. So here that looks kind of ridiculous, right? Now it doesn't look so ridiculous. So just for that one shot, the main shot. Now it gives the curves. It does show here, so I wouldn't do a side view on it. But it's really good for that one shot. It gives her a little bit more of a shape. A lot more shape. So tips, buy a bra for your mannequin. All right. Moving on, we're going to do the full-on mannequin next. Okay, so this is Manny Fresh. When I used to create my own clothing and I had an Etsy store, that's where I acquired Manny Fresh. And I had a little contest to name the mannequin and vote on the mannequin's name, and Manny Fresh won. She's a mannequin that is fresh. I do have different wigs for her. Costume, you know, costume wigs, not like real wigs. So the full mannequins also, just like, you know, the dress forms, come in different types. You want to think about what your aesthetic is and what your, you know, your look to your closet, to your eBay store, wherever you're using these photos. You really want to ask yourself, like, what's me? You know, what's my mannequin saying? You know what I'm talking about, even if you're not realizing it right now. Think about walking through the mall. Macy's has different mannequins than Forever 21. Forever 21 has those, like, faceless ones, very sleek, very, like, modern, very hip ones. You go to a different store that's not, you know, geared towards younger people, and their mannequins are different. They look a little different. So choosing a mannequin, it's not as easy as you would think it would be. So this is Manny. She's a pain in the booty sometimes. She's kind of old, so I like to fight with her. So I have on Manny right now a Calvin Klein dress. I sourced it at the Goodwill. It was not priced higher. It was just regular dress price. I think like $6.99, and it was the color of the week, so $3.50. And I usually don't sell, because it's very like wedding like, you know, not the bride, but, you know, go to a wedding, go to a very formal event, satin and stuff. But it's in very good condition, and I got it for $3.50. I'm probably going to be sitting on this a little bit longer, but hey, I went a little outside my scope and I went a little different. Why not? It also came with a little bolero. So mannequins do look great. They take longer than any other form to set up. Even just getting the bolero on her, you would have to take off her arm and take off her arm. You see how pain in the booty this is? I mean, even just to get the jacket on her, that's a pain in the boot. You know, so even not bad for $3.50, right? Wow. I should have put the brunette wig on her. That would have looked a little better. So, yeah, not bad. The mannequin, you should also know their sizes. They're very limited too. Yeah, you can add a bra, same thing, but you can't really have too big of clothing on it unless you get a wider mannequin. Now, taking off is a little easier. I still only use my mannequin for dresses, skirts, and tunics. She always has like a little black skirt on. Now, dress your mannequins, people. You know, no matter what your aesthetic is, dress your mannequin. If you're just using a mannequin, say, for a top, and you got this nice little top, and you put the shirt on her, but then she's got nothing on the bottom, and she's just... I've seen closets in Poshmark like that, where it's like this lovely top, got the mannequin, and then there's just nothing there. I mean, granted, it's plastic, but come on, dress your mannequin. Have something there. Maybe a basic pair of leggings, something that doesn't stand out. That's why I went with just a simple black skirt, because it's kind of like a neutral, non-sticking out color, and it goes with almost anything. So dress your mannequin. The downfalls to having a mannequin is it really does take longer to do anything. So even with this type of mannequin, you could still go headless and armless if you're just looking for this shape. Now, this mannequin wasn't meant to be headless because it has like the place to put the head. They make little covers. But remember, the more adaptable of a mannequin that you get, the more expensive it gets. So if you order a mannequin that has like all the limbs and extremities and it has covers, it's more money. If you invest in a mannequin, you have to have room for it. You need to have a dedicated space. You need to have some kind of a wall, you know, a backdrop where you are leaving your mannequin there, and that's it. She has a glass base. They have different bases. Some are metal, you know, because the base has to be heavy enough to support a plastic mannequin that she is 5'8". Yeah, she's tall, you know. So it has to be heavy enough and wide enough on the bottom in order to support that. So you're not going to be moving her around a lot. You're not going to say, okay, let's go take pictures in here and let's go do this. You need room for a mannequin. So as promised, I'm going to give you a few pointers on where you can score your very own mannequin, no matter what type you want to get. So the first place that you're going to want to check out is local marketplaces, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. And look, you never know who's going to have a mannequin. They take up a lot of room, you know, and people get them for different reasons. You know, maybe they had a studio, maybe they used it at one point, and now it's just kind of taking up a lot of room. So check out Craigslist, check out, you know, Facebook Marketplace, and you might get a mannequin for yourself. Now, for dress form mannequins and not like full bodied ones, you could definitely check out Amazon and eBay, and always look for the sale though, especially like on eBay, even through Amazon. Sellers will mark down their stuff, especially now that we're going into Q4, we're going into towards the Christmas season. So, you know, peruse around, maybe add it to a watch list and, you know, favorite it. So if that seller marks it down, you know, you could jump on it the moment they reduce it. The problem with shipping a mannequin is it's going to be a lot to ship it because it's heavy, even if it is just a dress form mannequin. You can also check out local fabric stores. Like around here, there's Joann Fabrics. I think that's nationwide, but there's different types of craft stores, Michael's Crafts and stuff. They would have dress forms as well, if that's what you're into, that type of mannequin. I got mine from the Joann Fabrics, my second one, the one that you guys saw. And the good thing about Joann Fabrics is they always have this one coupon. They have it online, they have it on the app that you could download for free, and it's get 40% off one single item. So if you get like $100 dress form, 40% off, now you're only paying $60 for it. Like, that's a good deal. Definitely shop around and make sure that you're getting a good deal for it. And even ask yourself, do I even need a mannequin? You may have noticed I've been adding links to the bottom of my descriptions on YouTube. Those are affiliate links. They're Amazon affiliate links. So what that means is if you click on it and you purchase something from it, I get a small commission. I absolutely refuse at this point to put ads on my YouTube channel. I get annoyed by ads. I'm sure you get annoyed by ads, and if you've noticed, there's none on my channel. So I do make a small commission if you buy anything. You don't need to. You know, you absolutely don't need to. But if you're in the market for anything that I've showed you throughout my videos, even if you just want to click on it and learn from it and see and gauge the prices, you know, that's what we're here for, you know, so you can like educate yourself on like what there's out there. I will never put something in an affiliate link that I haven't personally used or personally seen. So I wouldn't just say, hey, buy this. I have no clue about it. Everything listed I actually use, and you've probably seen at some point or another. So thank you very much for sticking around, and I hope you've learned a lot. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you want to learn more tips and tricks on reselling, definitely hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys later. Bye!